Welcome to Unlock What's Inside You Incorporated Community Forum Podcast, hosted by Executive Director Dr. Doreen Lettsome Reid, speaker, advocate, fighting against psychological incarceration, with over 25 years of experience in business and leadership, serving 19 years as an educator. Unlock What's Inside You Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization serving women impacted by psychological incarceration due to domestic abuse and serving incarcerated young men and their children in South Carolina. Our mission: strengthen, empower, and advance through business development, workforce development, and outreach. Our mission, our vision: unlock minds, change lives, in all things business. Our boards of directors: President Marek Calhoun, Treasurer Florence, Secretary Dr. Candy Sanders, have 40-plus years of combined experience in business, leadership, and professional development. Join us to fight against psychological incarceration. Come and join the Unlock What's Inside You movement to help provide services, training, resources to women as we fight against domestic abuse. Revealed its link to heart disease in America. Let's connect. Email unlockwhatsinsideyou@gmail.com.
Well, welcome to Community Forum Podcast presented by Unlock What's Inside You Incorporated, a 501c nonprofit organization serving women impacted by psychological incarceration due to domestic abuse, which is directly related to heart disease. We also serve incarcerated young men and their children throughout South Carolina. Welcome to the fight against psychological incarceration. Welcome to Unlock What's Inside You movement to help provide services, training, resources to women as we fight against domestic abuse and reveal its link to heart disease in America. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take this opportunity to just thank all of our community supporters that have been sponsoring us and supporting us. I want to acknowledge at this time Suit World here in Florence, South Carolina. Also, he is the owner of Suit World here in Florence, South Carolina, and also has a location in Sumter. That location in Sumter, South Carolina is 1121 Broad Street, Sumter, South Carolina. And his name is none other than Chris. He also owns the Suit World in Florence, South Carolina. And that location is 1719 West Palmetto Street in Florence. So we want to thank Suit World for their support and their participation of our upcoming conference, Confident Women Rise, Wise Women Win, which will be held right here in Florence, South Carolina at the Kelly Center, which is also sponsored by Francis Marion University, located right here in Florence, South Carolina on North Dargan Street, 142 North Dargan Street. We will be there, and our Mayor Teresa Irvin, will be one of the speakers at our conference there on Saturday, May the 25th, between the hours of 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock p.m. We are very excited to have these sponsors supporting our event and helping us and joining in on the fight against psychological incarceration. Join the movement, Unlock What's Inside You movement, as we press forward to provide resources and training and all of these materials that will be given at the conference for those women that are participating. And speaking of the conference and all of our community supporters, I would like to take the opportunity to also acknowledge Office Depot. Office Depot has been integral in this collaboration and community work that we are doing. That Office Depot is located in Florence, South Carolina at the address 1916 West Evans Street here in Florence. And the intern general manager there is Christopher. And we are so thankful for Christopher as well as Miss Vanessa working with us to support our cause by sponsoring in the promotional realm. They've been providing promotional literature for us to be able to pass out to the community as we are actively engaging in the community in various events, such as the one coming up on Saturday. And of course, we also have another community sponsor and community supporter, which is M&M Graphics here in Florence, South Carolina. That address is 1300 West Darlington Street in Florence, and that store owner there is named Brian as well. Go see them for all of your promotional needs. They did us a beautiful retractable, and we want to give a shout out to M&M. And we want to just thank our special guest for our podcast today, none other than Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. And of course, you will be coming to Florence to be one of our keynote speakers at the Kelly Center, located at 142 North Dargan Street. Now, Dr. Tina, welcome to Unlock What's Inside You Incorporated. Welcome to our Community Forum podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for joining the Unlock What's Inside You movement as we work together to fight against psychological incarceration. Dr. Tina.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am super excited about this conference because many times we don't think about the psychological warfare that we're going on. I have been known to say this quite a bit, so I'm going to say it again in regards to mental health. And it's just mental wellness, okay? And we are so accustomed to taking care of our health and wellness from the neck down. But it's time for us to start focusing on the neck up. And what happens when we are going through psychological warfare? What are the keys? What are the symptoms? What are the things that you should look out for? And then once you realize if you are a person that's dealing with that, what are some things that you can do to help yourself be able to break free, to unlock what's inside of you? And so this conference is very important for everyone to come, okay? And I want you to come. I want you to be able to get the encouragement and the motivation that you need to go out throughout the day, throughout this year and beyond. Because at the end of the day, ladies, we carry a lot on our plate. We do a lot of different things. And now it's time for you to kind of lay back, get the encouragement, get the reinforcement that you need from like-minded individuals, and be able to break free. All right, break free and be able to truly unlock what's inside of you. I'm so happy to be working with Dr. Doreen Reid on this incredible movement, because this is a movement. This is just not any event, okay? This is not just any event. I need you to come out in support. And I just feel like everyone that's going to be in the room, your life is going to be changed. And I compare us to beacons of light. So every person that comes is a little beacon of light. So come out with us in Florence, South Carolina, so that we can have an amazing time and you can be inspired by all the amazing speakers, because I'm not the only speaker. It's more than just me. It's more than myself and Dr. Doreen Reid. So make sure that you come on out to get this encouragement and motivation. And I love many of you, I'm Southern, you hear the Southern twang, so come on down. You get to meet me in person. I warn you now, I'm a little short in person. People think I'm super, 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 super tall. I am a little short. So come out and meet us, because we can't wait to help you unlock what's inside of you.
And you made a good point, Dr. Ramsay, because this is an opportunity to start the self-discovery journey, the unlocking process. This is not a one and done. What Unlock What's Inside You Incorporated does in fighting against psychological incarceration, we lay the foundation with awareness, many women are not understanding that psychological incarceration due to domestic abuse is directly related to heart disease. Now, let's equate that to 2.2 million women that are actually impacted as we speak here in the United States by psychological incarceration due to domestic abuse. That is 1 in 4. So when you go to Walmart and you're picking out your grapes and your pineapples, you're seeing 4 women that just passed by you. You smiled, you say how you're doing. Just think and pause for a minute. 1 in 4 of those women that you just spoke to in your local Walmart is directly related to psychological incarceration due to domestic abuse. We know that Walmart and many of these other grocery stores are normally packed on the 3rd, the 15th of the month. So we're talking about, just imagine 2.2 million women throughout the United States. This is an alarming number. Now, to even go even further and really dig deeper into this data and what is so alarming, the psychological incarceration often starts in childhood as a result of child abuse, which is called complex trauma. Complex trauma also leads to trauma brain, and it also leads to other physical ailments such as heart disease, migraines, neck pain, back pain, leg pain, and all of these pains in our bodies. And yet we're taking all of this medication thinking that something is wrong with our body, but the pain in our body and the pain that we're experiencing psychologically due to psychological incarceration is just a symptom of the root cause, which actually often starts with childhood abuse, and then psychological incarceration is compounded between the age of 13 and 15 years old, when most of us as young adult women are in these toxic relationships that seem to be normal. And what I want to also point about is that we are talking to women of faith. We are talking to women that are going to church, that have been born again, maybe at an early age, and your focus is on being a good woman, a good wife, and a good mother, and serving Jesus Christ. Well, all that is good and fine. You're going to church, you're doing the things that you believe that you need to do. And yes, we are to do that as women of faith. However, when is the last time you took a moment to evaluate if you are being or in a psychological incarceration, either due to previous issues with child abuse or a current issue with domestic abuse? And let's also go further. Domestic abuse, just because you've been delivered from it, which means you're physically removed from it, does not mean that you've been liberated from it. Let me say that again. You may have been delivered from it. You are no more physically in that location. You are no longer physically in that relationship, but you may not be liberated from it. Dr. Miles Monroe taught us years ago, over 10 years ago, the difference between being delivered and liberated. Liberated is mental. That means I can even be physically incarcerated, but not mentally incarcerated or enduring psychological incarceration. As we've learned with Nelson Mandela, he was incarcerated physically for 25 years, but psychologically, he was more free than many of us walking around. So we can take these principles that we're going to be able to go into more depth with in the conference for you to start the journey of self-discovery. That journey starts with awareness, because out of this 2.2 million women, 41%, Dr. Tina, 41% will get heart disease. 41%.
And you know, that is the silent killer. And so when we think about all of this, like you said, I feel like the most deadly and the most, I would say the most deadly is being in a situation that you're not aware that you're in. And so many women, like you said, because they're not physically in that situation anymore, or they may not be physically harmed by a physical blow, but maybe you're in a relationship where someone is criticizing you mentally, emotionally, financially incarcerated. All these things come into play when we thinking about this psychological incarceration. And I love the part where you have brought out about, even if you're in a good relationship now, but how was you raised? And if you have not dealt with that, have not healed from that, you're still battling with that. You are in prison. You're wondering why you can't get from point A to point B, why you react a certain way to certain things that hold you back from getting or doing what you know that you're on this earth to do. You can't figure it out. It's because you may possibly be psychologically incarcerated, and you need help to be able to identify, to have that awareness, and then also have people that is going to help you work through the steps. So like she said, this is not a one and done. This is a movement of kick-starting this amazing movement of self-discovery, awareness, and building on those principles that's going to actually help you thrive. And we are excited to be able to bring, I'm excited to be able to actually be a part of something that many people walking around thinking they're free, but mentally they're trapped because it's invisible.
It's invisible. It's invisible. And I'm glad that you pointed that out, because that's the point that we're driving home. This is an invisible incarceration. And I'm so thankful, Dr. Tina, that our mayor, our very own mayor, Teresa Irvin, has decided that this is a cause that she decides that she herself, as the mayor of our city, is pausing to say, let me come personally in person to present and provide awareness and education and be an advocate for other women. It's another conversation when we have very influential women such as her that have broken many glass ceilings to trailblaze for other African-American women, and just for women in general to say, I'm stopping on Memorial Weekend, and I'm coming to speak. I'm coming to voice this concern. And so we have other speakers that are becoming as well. This is something that is of great urgency, especially for women of faith 40 and over, because for women of faith 40 and over, we've been born again and serving the Lord Jesus Christ for decades in this invisible, incarcerated state, not understanding what is going on. We know something is going on. However, many of us don't want to accept what's going on. We've been making excuses about it for so long, minimizing it for so long, and denying our own reality. And that's gaslighting. So basically, we are participating with that intimate partner to continue our incarceration. It is your decision. I'm urging you to make a safe decision. Make a safe decision to unlock what's inside you. My name is Dr. Doreen Lettsome Reid, and this is Unlock What's Inside You Community Forum. We will see you on Saturday, May the 25th. The link has already been dropped. The link has already been dropped for you to register. It is literally a lunch, awareness, education, advocacy, exhortation, execution strategies, all in one conference for you to get in the movement to unlock what's inside you. We'll see you once again on Saturday, May the 25th at the Kelly Center, 142 North Dargan Street, right here in Florence, South Carolina. We welcome the partnering counties, the partnering states, South Carolina, North Carolina, right here on the border. We welcome you to attend. This is a matter of urgency, ladies. Get here. We thank you very much for watching Unlock What's Inside You Community Forum. And once again, we thank all of our sponsors. Have a great one, and we'll see you next week.